How did a young Corsican artillery officer rise to become the Emperor of France in the turbulent times following the French Revolution? This is a question that has intrigued historians for centuries, and the answer lies in the enigma that is Napoleon Bonaparte. Born in Corsica, a small island in the Mediterranean, Napoleon was the second of 8 children in his family. His father, a lawyer, managed to secure a scholarship for the young Napoleon to study in mainland France. It was there that Napoleon developed his command of the French language and his deep passion for military strategy. At the tender age of 16, Napoleon graduated from the prestigious École Militaire in Paris and began his military career as an artillery officer. His strategic brilliance was evident from the start, but it was his ability to inspire and lead men that set him apart. He was a charismatic figure with a keen mind and a burning ambition. Meanwhile, France was in turmoil. The French Revolution, a bloody and chaotic period, was reshaping the country's social and political landscape. The monarchy had been overthrown, the aristocracy was in disarray, and the power vacuum was immense. Society was in the throes of radical change, with new ideas and principles such as liberty, equality, and fraternity challenging the old order. Amidst this chaos, Napoleon Bonaparte, a young, ambitious artillery officer, saw his chance. He saw in the revolution not just a battle for the future of France, but a personal opportunity. He saw a nation in need of a leader, a society in need of order, and he believed he was the man for the job. Napoleon was not content with merely advancing through the ranks. He wanted more. He wanted power. He wanted control. He wanted to shape France in his image. And so, in the chaos of post-revolutionary France, Napoleon began his audacious climb to power. Napoleon, amidst this chaos, saw an opportunity not just for advancement but for power, and as we'll see, he was willing to do whatever it took to seize it. In the midst of political instability, Napoleon orchestrated the infamous Coup of 18 Brumaire, a coup d'état that would change the course of French history, and indeed, the history of Europe. The Directory, the government that had been in power since the French Revolution, was losing its grip. Corruption was rife, the economy was in tatters, and the people were restless. Napoleon, who had been making a name for himself in military campaigns, saw an opportunity. He was not one to miss a chance to seize power. Napoleon, with the backing of his brother Lucien, who was the president of the Council of 500, and 2 directors, Cas and Ducos, hatched a plan. They would overthrow the Directory and replace it with a new form of government, the consulate. The coup began on the 18th of Brumaire, in the year 8 of the French Revolutionary calendar, which translates to November 9th, 1799, in the Gregorian calendar we use today. Napoleon, with a small army of loyal soldiers, stormed the Tuileries Palace, where the Council of 500 was meeting. There was chaos, confusion, and fear. Napoleon addressed the council, accusing the directors of leading France into ruin. But his speech was met with hostility. It was his brother Lucien who saved the day, convincing the council that Napoleon was their only hope for a stable and prosperous France. The council was disbanded, and a provisional consulate was established. And who better to head this new government than the man who had orchestrated the coup? Napoleon was named first consul, effectively making him the leader of France. It was a move of sheer brilliance. In a matter of days, Napoleon had transformed from a respected general to the ruler of France. He had managed to seize power without a large-scale conflict, without a lengthy siege. It was a coup d'état in the truest sense of the word. In a swift and calculated move, Napoleon had taken control of France, and thus began a new chapter in French history, the era of Napoleon. With the reins of power in his hands, Napoleon began to reshape France. Now this was not some haphazard endeavor. No, it was a meticulous process, a calculated strategy to consolidate his power. First and foremost, Napoleon set about reforming the legal system. He introduced what came to be known as the Civil Code, or the Napoleonic Code, as many of us know it. This was a comprehensive set of laws that replaced the patchwork of legal systems that existed across the country. It established the principles of civil liberty, equality before the law, and secularism, which are cornerstones of modern society. By doing so, Napoleon brought uniformity and order, thus strengthening his control over France. But Napoleon didn't stop there. He turned his attention to education. He believed that an educated citizenry was the bedrock of a strong nation, and he was not wrong. He established a centralized system of education, introducing standardized curricula and examinations. This move not only uplifted the intellectual prowess of the French, but also fostered a sense of national identity. Now, let's talk about administrative changes. Napoleon introduced a system of prefects, sub-prefects, and mayors, all appointed by him. These individuals acted as his eyes and ears across the country, ensuring his directives were implemented. This network of loyalists further tightened his grip on the nation. He also reformed the financial system, introducing the Bank of France, which stabilized the economy and boosted public confidence. And let's not forget the Concordat with the Church, which helped heal the rift between the state and the Church, winning him the support of the Catholic majority. Each of these reforms, in their own right, transformed France, but collectively, they did something more. They created an intricate web of control, a system so tightly woven around the fabric of French society that it was near impossible to unravel. Through these reforms, Napoleon not only transformed France, but also cemented his power. His reign may have been marked by war and conquest, but it was these quieter, less obvious maneuvers that truly solidified his position. In 1804, Napoleon took the final step in his ascent to absolute power. Napoleon Bonaparte, the ambitious general who had risen to prominence during the tumultuous years of the French Revolution, had set his sights on an audacious goal. He sought to transform the French Republic into an empire, with himself at its head. In May of that year, the French Senate passed a law that established the French Empire, effectively ending the French Republic. Napoleon Bonaparte, the first consul, was declared the Emperor of the French. But Napoleon was not content with merely having the title. He desired a grand coronation, a spectacle that would cement his authority and symbolize the start of a new era. The grand event took place on the 2nd of December at the Notre Dame Cathedral in Paris. A ceremony of pomp and splendor, it was designed to impress and dazzle. Napoleon, acutely aware of the power of symbolism, took a decisive step during the ceremony. In a move that was both audacious and unprecedented, Napoleon took the crown from the hands of Pope Pius VII and placed it on his own head. By crowning himself, Napoleon was sending a clear message. He was not a ruler appointed by divine right or the will of the people, but a ruler who took power through his own ambition and will. This act symbolized the end of the French Revolution, a period of radical political and social change that had swept through France and beyond. The ideals of liberty, equality, and fraternity had been replaced by the autocratic rule of one man. The age of the French Republic was over. The age of Napoleon, the Emperor of the French, had begun. Napoleon's coronation was a turning point in history, marking the transition from the tumultuous years of the Revolution to the Napoleonic era. It was the culmination of Napoleon's rise to power, a journey that had begun in the chaos of the Revolution and ended with him becoming the most powerful man in France. With his coronation, Napoleon's rise to power was complete. But what does Napoleon's meteoric rise to power mean for us today? This is a question that echoes through the corridors of history, resonating with profound implications. Napoleon Bonaparte, a man of ambition and cunning, did not just rise to power. He rose to rule an empire. And his legacy, it can be seen in the very fabric of our modern world. Firstly, Napoleon's rule ignited the flame of nationalism across Europe. His military campaigns, his grandiose vision of a united Europe under French leadership, sparked a sense of national pride and identity in the people. This spirit of nationalism, once kindled, spread like wildfire, shaping the political landscape of Europe for centuries to come. Secondly, Napoleon's rise to power marked a significant shift in the legal sphere. He introduced the Napoleonic Code, a comprehensive set of civil laws that served as a blueprint for many legal systems around the globe. It established key principles such as legal equality and protection of private property, principles that underpin our societies today. Thirdly, Napoleon's ascendancy fundamentally reshaped the map of Europe. His territorial conquests and the subsequent redrawing of borders led to the creation of new nations and the dissolution of old ones. The Europe we know today, with its complex tapestry of nations, is in many ways a product of Napoleon's ambition and strategic genius. Yet the legacy of Napoleon's rise to power is not confined to these tangible effects. His story serves as a timeless reminder of the dual nature of power, its potential to both create and destroy. It's a testament to the indomitable human spirit, the drive to overcome adversity, to shape one's destiny, to leave a mark on the world. Napoleon's rise to power, therefore, is not just a tale of ambition and power, but a pivotal moment that has shaped our world today.